Why does your dog tilt its head at you, like it just heard a ghost inside your mouth? The answer is cuter than you think, then suddenly not cute at all. In one study, gifted dogs tilted their heads 43% of the time when hearing toy names. Ordinary dogs did it only 2%. Remember that number because it turns a meme into a clue. You say, walk, and your dog becomes a question mark with ears. You make a squeaky noise and its whole face rotates. It looks like confusion, or politeness, or the exact moment your dog realizes you are insane. But the tilt matters because dogs live inside your signals. Your voice tells them food, danger, play, anger, doors, cars, and goodbye. To your dog, you are not just a person, you are a walking weather system. So when that head tilts, something is being measured. The obvious answer is simple. Your dog is trying to hear better. That sounds right because dogs have ridiculous ears. They can hear higher pitches than you can. Humans usually hear up to about 20,000 hertz. Dogs can hear much higher, often around 45,000 hertz. That is why a silent dog whistle is only silent to you. So you imagine your dog tilting like a furry satellite dish. One ear goes up, one ear goes down. The sound becomes clearer. Case closed. Except, wait. Here's the problem with that. If head tilting were only about hearing, dogs would do it constantly. They would tilt for every bird, truck, microwave, beep, and leaf. But many dogs save it for you, especially your voice. Even weirder, they often tilt when the sound is already obvious. You are standing right there. You are not whispering from a cave. So hearing is part of it, but it is not the whole trick. Think about how you locate a phone buzzing under a blanket. You turn your head slightly. Your brain compares the sound reaching each ear. One ear gets it a fraction of a second earlier, one ear gets it a tiny bit louder. Your brain turns that tiny mismatch into a map. Dogs can do something similar. Their outer ears help catch and shape sound. Some dogs can move their ears like little radar cups. A head tilt may sharpen the difference between left and right. It is not just hearing better. It is aiming the skull. But then the next layer gets stranger. Your dog may be tilting to see you, not hear you. Look down at your own nose. You can see it sitting there, blocking nothing important. Now imagine your nose is a tennis ball on your face. That is your dog's muzzle. For many dogs, the snout blocks part of the lower visual field. And where is your most important emotional information? Your mouth, your smile, your jaw, the shape you make when you say a word. Psychologist Stanley Coren suggested dogs may tilt their heads to see around their muzzles. He even surveyed dog owners about it. Dogs with longer muzzles were reported to tilt more often than flatter-faced dogs. That survey is not perfect science. Scientists would want tighter testing. But the idea is hard to unsee. Your dog may be moving its head like you move your hand from in front of a screen. Now replay the moment. You say, "Do you want a treat?" Your dog hears your pitch. It watches your lips. It reads your eyebrows. It checks your hands. Then it tilts. That is not stupidity. That is data collection. But remember the 43% number, because the deepest clue came from dogs that knew words. Not just tones, actual labels. A research team in Hungary studied rare, gifted word learner dogs. These dogs could learn the names of toys, mostly border collies, because border collies are basically unpaid interns. The owners would ask for a specific toy by name. The dog had to remember which object matched the sound. And during those requests, the gifted dogs tilted their heads about 43% of the time. The typical dogs tilted only about 2%. Same situation, same humans, same general commands. Wildly different tilting. So the tilt was not just noise. It appeared when the sound meant something. That is the important crack in the door. Your dog may tilt when a sound hits the edge of understanding. Not total confusion, not perfect comprehension. The edge. Like when someone says a name you almost recognize. Your brain leans forward without moving. Your dog's head does the leaning for them. And it gets better. Those gifted dogs often tilted consistently to the same side. One dog might usually tilt left, another might usually tilt right. The side did not depend on where the owner stood, so it probably was not just aiming at the speaker. It may have reflected how that dog's brain processed the word. Brains are not perfectly symmetrical. Your left and right sides can specialize. Humans show this with language. Dogs show side preferences too, like paw preference and tail wag biases. Scientists are still careful here. Nobody can point at a tilt and read a dog's thoughts. But the leading idea is much cooler than cute confusion. A head tilt may be a visible glitch in concentration. Your dog hears a meaningful sound. It tries to match it to memory. It adjusts its ears. It clears its view of your face. It locks onto the signal. Then the whole head rotates like a safe dial. And sometimes the safe opens. That is the full answer. Dogs tilt their heads because your signal is important enough to investigate. The tilt may help them locate sound. It may help them see your face around their muzzle. And in some dogs, it may appear when they are processing meaningful words. It is not one behavior. It is a stack of tiny strategies. Hearing, seeing, remembering, and deciding, all compressed into one adorable angle. That is why the 43% matters. It suggests the tilt is not just a reaction to sound. It can be a reaction to meaning. Your dog is not saying, "I have no idea." Your dog may be saying, "Wait, I know this." But here's the part nobody talks about. The same shape can mean the opposite. A quick tilt during your weird voice is usually normal. A head that stays tilted can be a warning, because balance lives deep inside the inner ear. Tiny, fluid-filled canals tell the brain which way is up. They work like a carpenter's level inside the skull. If infection, inflammation, injury, or disease disrupts that system, the world can tip. Your dog may hold its head sideways because sideways feels straight. That is not a cute expression. That is a broken compass. Dogs with vestibular problems may stumble, circle, fall, vomit, or flick their eyes rapidly. Older dogs can get idiopathic vestibular disease. Idiopathic is the medical way of saying, "We do not know why." It can look terrifying. One morning your dog seems normal. Then it walks like the floor became a boat. Many cases improve with veterinary care and time, but the image is hard to forget. The same gesture that makes you grab your phone can also be your dog trying not to fall off the planet. So context changes everything. A momentary tilt after a word is communication. A constant tilt with wobbling is a vet call. One is curiosity, the other is vertigo. And that makes the normal tilt feel even more intimate. For thousands of years, dogs have been shaped by human attention. They watch where you point, they follow your gaze, they notice your mood. Some can recognize many spoken words after training. They are not tiny humans in fur coats, but they are experts in you. Your dog does not need to understand a sentence the way you do. It only needs to catch the important pieces. The tone that means fun, the hand moving toward the leash, the word that means chicken, the face that means trouble. So when your dog tilts, you are seeing an ancient deal. You send messy human signals. Your dog builds a world from them. For 1 second, its ears, eyes, and memory all point at you. And maybe that is why it feels so powerful. Not because the dog looks confused, because the dog looks like it is trying to meet you halfway. A head tilt is not just cute. It is your dog turning its whole body into a question. And that connects to something even stranger. Why do dogs stare at you while they poop? If this scratched the right part of your brain, subscribe to Mind Itch. A new question every single day.